what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
Hey, everyone.
And yes, Gil, I was correct. It was at 25.
Yeah.
25. Hold on. 25, 5, 12 at the beginning of the last live.
25, 5, 12. And it was at 25, 896 at the end of it. All righty. So let's put this down here and get to the chat part here so I can see who's all in the chat. We got 5 new messages. All righty.
Hello, Michael.
Let's see what we got out there. Okay, so it says we got 5. This says we got 5 watching over here. 6 watching now. All right, so we're starting to roll it, folks. All righty, so let's say a little hellos first. So first in was Bedtime Stories of Charles. Fishes and Loaf's Life was second. Blue Healer said 132nd.
132nd Airborne reporting in, sir.
And Phelan Klein Wolf was fourth. Evil Twin is in the shadows, lurking around. And Bedtime says, no, he wasn't. He was watching him. Well, he was in different shadows. He's been lurking in shadows all day. Tell me, has anybody seen him? No, that's because he's in the shadows. Healer's back. Michael's here. Tibor's here. Lori Jean's here. All righty. So
11 now. We got people hiding and not typing. Hello.
It says 11 watched. So like 11 watching. So hey, they're good.
Hey, Gunslinger.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys. All right. So let me take this over here, and we're going to go there, and then we're going to
Brass.
Take this down here for a second, and I'm going to escape that out of there, put that on there, go over here, and all right, so let me bring up what we were just talking about here a second ago for those of you that were in here right when we were starting it here, and I'm going to move this from here over here.
He's going to squish us again. Hey, Tibor.
Oh, I'm going to squish this again. So I'm going to get this all set up here. So we have passed, during the last live stream, we passed Germany, and then we passed Spain. So the U.S. is now in the number 3 position. So we have China in number 1, Italy number 2, and the United States in the number 2 position. Just so you can see, or number 3 position, sorry. What just happened here? Oh, someone corrected a bunch of numbers. What's going on there?
Wow, they just dropped us back several thousand.
Yeah, they've dropped the. I'm not sure what's going on. That's not live. That's why something happened. There we go. It went. Somebody was dinking and it went backwards on us. There we go. Okay, we're back. It's live again. So it's yeah. So yeah, we passed Iran.
The number dropped a few thousand.
Yeah, we passed France and Iran yesterday. We passed Spain this morning, and Spain and Germany during the live broadcast. So yeah, we were chasing them all morning, which is not a race we wanted to win. We wanted to lose that race.
Yes.
So so currently we are now at 27,069, 340 deaths. And the 176 here probably is going to hold through tomorrow and be updated on Monday, like they did, like they've done previously, where they've held it for several days and then they kicked it up. So this over here.
Hey, Samson.
Hey, Nathan. All right, so let me move this from here up onto that one. Enter. So today, since 11:55 last night Mountain Standard Time to 8:06 Mountain Standard Time, or Daylight's Time. Sorry, we're on daylight. I keep forgetting. We've gone up 6,872 cases in the U.S. confirmed. Confirmed. There are a bunch of others out there that they got to find and test. And we've Dave and I have been saying this. There are more out there than what they've tested for. The numbers are actually a little bit higher. But so long as we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, folks, so long as we're maintaining our social distancing, or I don't want to call it sheltering in place, but yeah, you're sheltering at home, whatever.
Okay, I want to add something to that, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, some of you know that I've listened to Lindsay Sterling. She did a live stream earlier, and some of the entertainers have said we need to physical distance, not social distance. And what she meant by that was, yes, we need to keep our physical distance from other people. But like we are right now, we are not social distancing. We're not hiding in the corner of our house going, We're out talking and chit-chatting, even though we're hundreds of miles apart, each one of us. We're still taking the time to be social. So let's make sure we keep that aspect in this. Let's try and stay social. Physically distant, not socially distant. I think that needs to be clarified.
Yeah, that's a 25. All right. So we've gone up 8,000. I mean 8,000. So I hope not. 6,872 since almost midnight last night. Yeah. Guys, just remember the reason why the recovered rate is going to go up so slow, because they're going to test several times after the person is quote no longer showing symptoms. But the problem is, we know that when they're no longer showing symptoms for another week or a week, they will still be asymptomatic. They won't have symptoms, but they'll be contagious. So they have to wait, and all these people that are trying to keep these people under control, so not going out. And then when they get a true negative test, then they'll declare them as recovered. Unfortunately, this is not like the common cold where you're over in 24 hours after you show symptoms, or 48 hours. This is a couple weeks. Yeah. And don't forget, there's also two different strains of this. There's a more milder one, for a better term, and a more virulent one that's really just thinks it's a unlimited boxer or whatever.
L.
Yeah, the L strain. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so this is where we're sitting at right now for the United States. If you look over here, we have been flirting since it started jumping up a couple days ago in the 60, to mid 60 range here on death rate. That death rate will go down when they can start confirming more recovered cases. Unfortunately, the recovered cases are going to drag, because what they have to do to determine someone's actually recovered. There's also been confirmed cases are going to skyrocket here because of what they are practicing, because we are short on test kits. If a person comes down with anything, the common cold, and they're in a house where a person has tested positive, they're counting that person as a confirmed red dragon case, even though it may not be red dragon. It may be the normal flu. It may be a common cold. All right. So that's going to spike our other numbers. Now, everyone's saying, well, look at China. They only had 81,000 cases. Politely, I'm going to call BS on that. And we got several documentations on it. And I'm going to go to one of these documentations here. This one here, here is at the, let me scroll up so I can get the channel name here on it. China in Focus, NTD News. All right. They've documented that 80% or over 80% of China's reported cases were unrecorded. And we've known this because they didn't have enough test kits to test that many people. They were telling people, stay in your homes. People got sick and never went to a doctor because they were still told to stay at home. When those people passed away, they were not tested afterwards to see if they had it. They just, okay, they died. They weren't a confirmed case. We're not counting them as a red dragon death. That's why China's numbers are so low. Now, let me go back to the spreadsheet here. I'm going to wake things up here. Wait, I need to go that first and then the spreadsheet.
Lori,
there we go.
They say that any new cases they get now are imported cases. They're saying that they no longer have any their own private cases, which isn't true.
Oh, I didn't say that they don't have cases.
No, I'm just reading what she said. She
said
that's not right. And I said, they do have new cases. They're not just imported cases.
Yeah, there's no way they are case free. I didn't say they were case free. I said the cases they underreported by 80%. Over 80% did not get reported. That is correct. We've known that. Our government's known that for a long time, that their number was really jacked.
You and I have been calling it BS from day one, where our government's going, well, we believe them.
Yeah. So anyways, what I'm going to do here for you guys, I'm going to run this up a little bit. Give me some room here to work. All right. You've
already got me squished.
If China they said they had 81,054 cases. And if they're off by 80%, I knew I was going to do that. Okay, so I need to do this out of the way here. I need to put this here with a 80%. There we go. So to find out what they really have, so if they're only doing 20% reported, that means there's another 80%, which is 4 times that. So to get that number, I'm going to have to go and do plus this times 4. And so that 324,216. And now remember, they said over 80%, and that's just 80%. So that's a conservative number for what they have. And the same thing goes for their deaths. Now, I'm going to put their deaths down here.
Kill. 20% of 100. It should be times 5, not 4. 20% of 100 is 1/5. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
Right.
1/5.
Right.
So you would have to times it by 5 to get the proper number.
No, because you already have 1/5 up there. So in the 81, so you need to multiply that times 5. Times 4.
Then you would need to add that 81 to that 324 to get the proper number. Because right now, the way you've got it It's leaving that number out of it. The equation.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, all right. So I'll fix that. All right, guys, get ready for it to go up more. All right, there we go. All right, so they got 3261 recovered. All right, so
Good evening, Steve.
so their deaths are plus this times 5. All right, and their recovered is, they say, is 72.244 is what they say. And that gives it a 22% death rate, which is what all the experts are claiming this has in other countries and everything. It's 22%. So they've been reporting, this proves that they've been over-reporting their recovered cases.
And just underreporting everything altogether.
Yeah. So they're at 22. No, they're at, no, sorry, scratch that. That gives them a 2.2 recovery rate. I mean, death rate, which is way less than what everyone says it's supposed to be. So most experts are saying that, anywhere from 10 to 24% death rate. And if you look at what we're doing right now, we're at 65.9 right now. But
Look at Italy. Italy has went up drastically in the last 2 days. Both days were drastically high numbers for death rate.
Yeah. So this 65.9, though, guys, remember, that's going to go way down because we are behind in our recovered rate because they are making it almost a week late on our recovery rate because they have to wait to make sure that person is totally 100% free of the virus.
And that's 4 tests over the course of 7 days before they can say that somebody is healed or recovered completely from this virus. So for the first person to get recovered, that had to be at least 7 days ago. And so every person that, if they come out of the hospital and go home, there's still 7 days waiting. They have to get tested 4 more times in those 7 days. And this is what our health experts here in the US are saying. They have to go 7 days with no positive PCR test.
All right. So they have their Italy's number of deaths is 4825. Their recovered is 6072. And they have a 44% death rate going on in Italy right now. Also, their recovered numbers are going to lag behind because they are wanting to make sure that everybody is completely healed before they declare them completely healed. So, and this is 3-21. And what was that? 2020. Okay, so let me get back over here and get back up. All right, so right now the US is running at 65.9% of reported resolved cases against reported deaths. And I agree 100%. Anybody saying that it's probably a lot lower, probably closer to Italy, but we are behind on declaring people cured. All right, now, so one of the problems is, and for those that came in late, what I was doing down here with the numbers here, this is the number that China has reported. We showed the news article. We'll go back to it, where they are saying they have documented that China has underreported by over 80%. A lot of that we know is because they don't have enough test kits to test everybody.
The CCP has sent out emails to its various provinces saying, don't report everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, in that broadcast that he's fixing to show you again from In Focus, They actually show the documents.
Yeah.
So it's not something that we made up and we're grabbing out of thin air here. We're going by actual documents pulled from the CCP.
All right. So this is the China in Focus, and right here, this is the video they put out, and it says, over 80% of CCP virus cases undocumented in China. And so I'm going to give you guys the link to this, and you guys can go look it up yourselves. Don't take our word for it. Check it out. Bubbles.
Go ahead.
All right, it's been prophesied there's going to be bad things going on. Everything's going to be going on. All right. So if you want to look at it from a religious point, it's been prophesied this. He's not getting tired. He knows it's there. He's already said what's going to happen. And there's a lot worse things still going to happen too, according to the Bible.
But see ye not be dismayed, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right.
And they looked at the Sadducees and Pharisees and said, "You hypocrites, for you can see the sun in the sky and know the season and know the temperature," and all that other stuff is what he was referring to.
Yeah.
But yet, and Jesus was standing right in front of you. You cannot understand the season that you are in. So yes, this could be the precursor. Okay, if you want to look at it from a biblical perspective,
right,
this could very well be the precursor to the end.
Now, Bubbles, I understand you're a little scared. Don't be scared. Be firm in your faith.
Yep.
Be concerned what's going on, but don't be scared of what's going on. Be firm in your faith. Remember, the Lord said, if you are prepared, you shall not fear.
Joshua 1:19. I've actually got it burned.
Yeah. So there are, so anyways, I put the link out there. Look it up yourself. Do your research. There is a lot of things going on. It's taking time. It's going to take time for all this to wash out. Remember, we're only 3.5 weeks in for the United States. They're already tracking cases back in China to mid-November. So mid-November, mid-December, January, February, March. That's 4 months they've been in. And we're in 3.5 weeks. It's going to take a while before we start seeing things starting to come down. Okay. Now, don't forget, God has given us our free agency to choose to do what we want to do. He's not going to force us to do anything. He's not going to do us. Hey, Corsair, I like this. Corsair is absolutely right. Acknowledge the fear, move on, stay informed, and I like the way that Suspicious Observers ends their broadcast every day. Eyes open, no fear. So be concerned, acknowledge what's going on, better your position, stay informed. All right. All right. Okay. So this is the news one that's out there. And I got to bring up this other guy here. Let me pull us back while I bring us up here. And bring up the other one here. Guys, I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again this week. This is the guy you need to go listen to. I'm not too thrilled on the host of the show he's on, but the guy himself has a pedigree of what do I put it? Of
he's
alphabetical letters after his name. Yeah.
He's the doctor that governments call when they need a question answered.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here it just
Yes,
froze on
keyboard.
me here. Come on, let's work thing. Oh, it's bringing up a stupid commercial again. Dang it.
Corsair's right. This is why we are APE, Advanced Preparedness for Emergencies. And we're not preppers, we're apes. Advanced Preparedness for Emergencies.
Yeah,
This
Steve,
is
you
why,
missed out on that
yeah,
earlier.
we changed the acronym, Steve. We figured you'd probably like it a little bit better than being called a prepper. Advanced Preparedness for Emergencies. That's why we are what we are, because we're prepared for these kind of things. We pray that none of this stuff ever happens, but we plan ahead just in case. So we're not fearful when this kind of stuff does happen. And we do our best to try and inform and educate others to be prepared for emergencies so they're not scared. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in many states, 3 of which are now under complete lockdown, that are running scared, frantically nervous, running back crap crazy because they never were prepared.
Yeah. All right. So this guy here, he was on the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm not too thrilled about Joe Rogan. I think it gets a little weird at times. But this is Michael Osterholm. And let me scroll up a little farther here. And I'm going to expose all his credentials here. I don't know how well you're going to see it, so I'll read stuff off here. Recognized expert in infectious disease epidemiology. He is the Regents Professor, Knight Presidential Endowed Chair in Public Health, and the Director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy. Distinguished Teaching Professor in the Division of Environmental Health Sciences. School of Public Health. A professor in the Technological Leadership Institute, College of Science and Engineering, and an adjunct professor in the medical school at the University of Minnesota. Yeah, so yeah, he's got, more training than 99% of your doctors out there. So, this is a.
So in other words, he's been doing it for 99% of his life.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah, he has stuff out here. I mean, this interview with him goes on for
over almost an hour, ain't it?
Over an hour, almost 2 hours. Oh, shoot, dang it! I hate that little CDC live thing they put in here, and the CDC has been lying to us. But if you go to it and you scroll through it, it's not going to be buried. There was one in here that basically it highlighted the entire interview by segments of what they were going over, talking about masks, talking about the tracing it. This guy he is basically a forensic scientist in tracking down infectious diseases back to their origin and about them. So if you want, I'm not going to say everything he knows that he said, other than the fact that he says it is not an engineered bioweapon, and explains why. So check this guy out. He gives you hope, and he also tells you, hey, he's known about something like this happening. He wrote a book of this possibility scenario years ago. It's on Amazon. You can go look at it. The information, it's got the link to the Amazon book is right down here. So you can go check that out, look at it if you want. But, yeah, the numbers, he says the numbers that China's putting out, he's been saying it for a long time, that they don't match what they should be. And they just downgraded our numbers. Again, they're going yo-yo on the numbers here.
That was probably the CDC saying, you got to take that down some. You're scaring the people.
Yeah, so they took it down.
You tell people the truth from the very beginning. Hey, guys, watch out. This could be very bad here. We need to plan in advance, start doing certain things. So if it does come here, you guys are prepared. Not that there's nothing to see here. Oh, don't wear masks. Those ain't going to help you one bit. It'll still get through the mask right to your skin. No, actually, it doesn't. Because if you touch things and wash your hands, you're pretty fine. It is aerosolized. As a person sneezes, it floats in the air for about 5 hours, give or take a little bit. And if you walk through that, if you got the mask on, guess what? You're protected. You're not wearing a mask, you're not protected. So yes, masks do help in large areas. It's going to help you to wear a mask around your house? Heck no. But if you got to go to the store, I do recommend it.
Now, unless you have someone in your household who's sick with it and you're the primary caregiver, then you want to wear a mask and you want to put a mask on them as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what, with that 80% off on the one thing, that's why we took the China's numbers here. We got it up to the, to what it's supposed to be about, including the deaths. And that right now, with their recovery rate against the properly adjusted death rate gives them a 2.2 death rate, not a what was it? I think they were down to less than 0.5% death rate, which is totally BS before.
Hey, Tibor, wide families up in the northern part of Oahu. They're pretty intelligent. So does the Green Wizard.
Yeah. Now, guys, if you're getting too concerned, we're not trying to do fear porn. We're trying to give you accurate numbers, which is why I'm going to tell you this. Go check out Steve at Corsair Trainers. He gives you proper instruction on how to take the information and make common sense out of it. As far as, you don't go freaking out. Don't go, no. Perspective. Acknowledge what's going out there. Make your plan, move on. Steve is very well-grounded, has a very good channel, and I love his stuff.
He's just a crazy Californian. Watch his content. You'll see it. He's crazy. One of them preppers. No, actually.
And he does training. That makes him even crazier.
Exactly. In all honesty, Steve's got a great channel. If you're not subscribed to Steve, Corsair Trainers, go check him out.
Yeah.
You might not always agree with what he says, but he brings it with fact, not fallacies. And yes,
Wolverines. Yeah. So, what we just want to make sure everybody understands what we're trying to do is not trying to spread fear. We're just trying to spread information, show you where you get the sources where we're getting it from. You can go look at it, make your decision, realize, okay, this is bad, but it can be dealt with. And that's the thing. This can be dealt with. Guys, for years and years, doctors, many doctors I've talked to about things when I worked at Homeland Security and otherwise, we were talking about the washing hands and stuff. And when I always mention something, they go, yeah, that, and they list several other things are great for cleaning your hands. Now, what I always talked to them about was something everybody can get. Now, I'm not pushing this because I have anything to stock, but this is great. If you've never used Boraxo powdered hand soap, you don't know what I'm talking about till you use it. It is kind of coarse way of scrubbing it, just like a soap that a lot of the doctor's offices have. It's called Physoderm. It's very gritty, and it really gets your skin really clean and gets everything off your skin, including the dead skin. That's one of the things, washing your hands is one of the things they've been saying for decades about being safe for, germs and viruses and stuff. You started to say something, Dave?
Oh, I was going to, hold on. Okay. I'm trying to moderate and watch and everything else all at the same time. So, Bubbles, you're watching these channels. You've got lots of friends in low places. Just ask some of our government. Yeah.
So, Bubbles, so I hope you take away, you come back, you come away from this feeling a little bit better, knowing what, armed with a little bit of information that this can be dealt with. Ontario. Oh, guys, you gotta have levity in this thing.
Yeah, you got to keep some kind of humor going. Less dark, preferably.
Wrong one. Oh, sorry, wrong word. It jumped up here. Here we go. Here's the one I wanted to put up. Sorry about that, Bowles. No lines. Oh. Wait.
Unfortunately,
is that the stuff yes.
Guess what?
Come on. Where did it go? There it is. Here we go. Come on. It's coming up here. Yes, that is the stuff that used to be in the high school washrooms back in the 70s and early 80s. The white powdered soap, that was Boraxo hand soap. It was there because it got your hands clean.
Hey, Steve, unfortunately, there's people here in Ohio and many other states that aren't taking it seriously. I mean, it's been over today's show, and all these idiots down in Florida standing out on the beach acting like there ain't no care in the world.
Yeah, and I
Listen to
watched
Florida.
and I watched a news thing on it. A guy was out there interviewing. They go, "Oh, we don't listen to the news. If it comes from our social media, stars and stuff that we watch all the time, we really don't take it seriously." And so I'm not sure which health department was getting one of the big, I can't remember her name, but she has 300 million followers or whatever, to tell everybody, hey, wash your, what was that?
Taylor Swift.
No, it wasn't Taylor Swift.
No, there's one of the Kardashian sisters.
Yeah.
She's the one that most of them are listening to.
But this one, she did a public service announcement. Wash your hands, but she didn't tell them to stay off the streets, which she should have told them to.
Yeah. Well, they're changing their tune. The CDC has actually asked the influencers to emphasize social distancing. Like I said, it should be called physical distancing, not social distancing. So we need to stay somewhat social, just separated. And for those who are suffering from dry, itchy hands, from sanitizer, get some aloe vera lotion. It'll help. It'll work to healing your hands, bringing
and Cornhuskers works too. Yep. We've worked concrete for years and years. My dad, my brother, and I, when we were in construction, this is the stuff that healed our hands when we were working concrete. So because concrete will dry your hands faster than alcohol will. So, hey, RG. All right. So, okay. And the number just went, number's going back up again now. It went yellow and it's going back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to say this about the different sites. This site here probably has the most correct of any site out there, but they do make mistakes. Someone types something in wrong, and they'll come back and they'll correct it. The numbers they're getting, and I had it up there earlier. They every now and then on there. Let me pull this down.
What have you been doing, Steve? Or should we not ask?
Okay. Every now and then in this section here, they will list all their sources for their numbers. This section over here with these graphs going on, this changes every 30 seconds or so, and they will others talk about different things here. But they once in a while they'll put up the where their sources for, or where they are getting all their numbers from. Now the other
over there, bottom of
the chat,
Mr. OH.
Pull me up on the board. I have a serious question.
I'm too far away to physically pick you up, so.
Okay. You want to come up here? There's the link.
Ding, ding, ding.
And you'll just have to follow steps coming through on it. It's very simple. Hey, I did it the first time without any help figuring it out on my own. So if I can do it.
He's been up here.
Huh?
Ontario's been up here.
Okay. I just want to make sure, I wasn't sure if he's been up on mine. Yeah, I don't think he's been up on mine before, has he?
I do believe so. I could be wrong. I've
been
wrong once or twice in my life. First time I thought I was wrong. I actually found out I was
right.
right.
Now, this is the Johns Hopkins University site. They're usually running behind on all their numbers, several hours behind the other one. And sometimes for a while they were just sitting on the numbers because someone's telling them to. But all right, right now I'm going to do this becomes a little sobering here on this. So I click on New York. 11,710 cases in New York. Last week they were down under 1,000.
Be right back.
Washington is at 1,793. They were the leader until, about 6 days ago, New York blew them off the map. And California is now up at 1,364. Let's see, you got Montana with 21. Oh, Idaho's jumped to 36. Oh boy. Yeah. We can blame most of ours in Idaho. Oh, here we go.
Did this work?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me drop. Get the thing out from in front of your face there. There we go. And so, Idaho's first case was someone that came back from a conference in New York, came back sick, got somebody on the airplane flying back with her sick. And then several other people in Idaho were in other states where it was prevalent and returned sick to Idaho. Hey, Ontario. How's it going?
It worked. Good. I didn't know it worked. Good. Excellent.
Yep.
Thought I was going to have to give DNA strands for the amount of questions they asked.
Yeah. They just want to make sure you get everything right so it comes in so everything works smoothly.
You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to shut off this fan so I can ask you guys a question.
Uh-huh.
Into the loud greenhouse. There we go.
All right.
I didn't mean to be that loud, guys.
Oh, we didn't hear much here.
Oh, I had a funny conversation with a member of my group tonight, guys. And does not take any of this stuff, the Red Dragon, as seriously as probably the rest of us. But a few days ago, he was, hey, we need to get this, hey, we need to get that. And all of a sudden it went, I hope you're not as crazy as the other people I'm talking to. And I went, I've never considered myself crazy. I've just always considered myself ready for something.
Right.
Has anyone else had this situation where someone you thought was kind of on board, paddling the same way you're paddling, and then all of a sudden grabs your paddle and throws it in the lake and says, you don't need it?
Sort of. My sister and I are dealing with one of our cousins who has gone totally drinking the Kool-Aid, and trying to convince, let her know, hey, this is going to get worse. This is just the beginning. And she keeps spouting, well, the flu kills more people every year. Yeah, well, that's a full year's number of the flu. We're only in week 3 of this for the United States. And, she just doesn't, our cousin just does not want to listen to anything we're saying. She's got her rose-colored glasses on, and she's drinking the Kool-Aid by the gallon. And, she used to be concerned about certain things, but we don't know what's going on, who convinced her that this is all a bunch of hooey and nothing to pay any attention to.
Hello, folks. It just jumped in.
See, my question is it just all of a sudden a normalcy bias that I don't want to listen to stuff can go bad?
I think it's a reaction. It's a psychological reaction. Things just, they see things going so bad and they're getting overloaded, and it's a denial stage of syndrome. There's probably someone out in the side chat here who could probably talk a little bit more about those stages, of denial and acceptance and all that other stuff. There are Fisher's Mills. Denial is normal for some people, and some people they're just to the point. It's like they can't handle what's going on, and so they retreat into a denial state. I mean, that's the best way I can put it.
Here,
yeah,
I'll repost that quote in private chat so you can paste it for everybody to read.
All right.
I don't know how to make it so I can read the chat. So if I miss anything,
the private chat's hard to do. You got to have a computer to do it.
Yeah, I'm not that smart.
All right, go back to conversations and put it in here. Okay, so this is what he was talking about. All truth passes through 3 stages. The first is ridicule. The second is violently opposed. The third is acceptance as being self-evidence. This is a quote from, I'm going to butcher this last name, folks, Arthur
Steffenauer.
See, I was going to try to put a sh in there.
Well, he is German, so that's probably the way it should be said, but I'm not going to attempt it.
Yeah, Steffenhauer. There we go, Steffenhauer. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really did shock me.
I'm sorry,
that
Big
this
Bear.
was the guy.
Big Bear just posted something really funny.
Oh,
Big Bear says, I'm in denial about not being the best looking guy on YouTube.
I personally
look at this beautifully shaven face, Big Bear. You're out.
Yeah, this one too. This one just got shaved Thursday night. Lost everything.
I think I was Thursday too, but I had a 4-year-old shave me, so I'm much more brave.
I did mine on the live stream here.
Oh, I missed that one. I did a vid on my 4-year-old won the toss, and she got to shave me. It hurt. She jammed that in something hard.
But I'm challenging all the guys out there, and I did this on Thursday night because Thursday was the spring equinox, beginning of spring cleaning. So all guys who had no shave November, now it's springtime, time to clean the face. So I'm challenging everybody out there to shave. You can, if you want, we'll let you keep the mustache, but so you can still wear a mask over the mustache. But get a clean shaven face. The ladies really like it.
My wife actually kind of yelled at me, but she understands why I did it. And I went, well, and I think the title of my video is "It's Time."
Yeah,
it's time. We can't be screwing around no more, guys. We need to make sure we're safe and our family are safe.
All right, just getting out. Here it is. Blue Healer, it's about time started. Yes. I'm going. Okay, Wayne G. I'm going down with the ship. Blue Healer, never going to happen. Corsair Trainer, no.
Steve, you can barely grow a beard, anyways.
Oh, I did not say that, Steve. I didn't say that. Gunslinger, nope, not going to do it.
At least there is some people on my side.
Yeah.
You know what? I live in Canada. I'm freezing my butt off right now. I wish I was smart enough to just shave where I could put the mask on, and I didn't figure it out. You are my hero. I'm freezing right now.
Big Bear, if you look back at my earlier videos this summer when I had just the mustache, yeah, I can pull the Tom Selleck mustache off. That's the only thing I can pull off about Tom Selleck.
You need a Hawaiian and a helicopter.
Yeah. And a red Ferrari.
And live rent-free in a mansion.
Yeah, there's no way he made that money on private investigating fees. I did that work before. They don't pay that much.
No. Big Bear, Sam Elliott. Yeah, Sam Elliott's got a mustache that is the standard by which all cowboys hold themselves up to.
I used to love that show where that Sam Elliott's on. What's that called on Netflix? The Ranch?
I don't know. I lost a little respect for Sam.
Yeah. There's
commercial he did.
What commercial did he do?
The Doritos commercial.
What? I don't have TV.
He also he also did the Dodge Ram for many years.
No,
the voiceover on that.
It's Sam Elliott and some rapper dude sitting there having a stare down in an old Western town over a bag of Doritos, and a black dude, the Western rapping dude, does some kind of dance move, then Sam does something a little bit better. Then it's back and forth for like 30 seconds. It ain't Western anything. It's a bunch of hoppycock.
Yeah.
My wife didn't know what to say because we were watching the ranch, and there was an episode where the woman was holding up, taking the kid from the husband, and I went, nope, can't watch this show anymore. You want to hold kids over me? You're done to me. You're dead to me. And she went, why are you mad at me? I went, I'm trying not to be, but if you're someone who can take a kid because you disagree with someone trying to make money for your family, I got nothing for you. And she's like, all right.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the numbers over here, guys. Yeah, the three big uglies are California. Sorry, Steve, but California comes in third with 1364.
Jesus.
Washington State 1793.
Oh.
And then the big bad apple 11,710. So of course I knew that was going to happen with New York. Has anybody been to New York or paid attention to New York movies shot in New York? There ain't no room to breathe. You sneeze and you get 20 people with your. All right, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of getting scary.
We've got 3 states on total lockdown now. We've got New York under full lockdown, Illinois under full lockdown, and California under full lockdown.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that people are listening, and it doesn't mean the police have the authority to go out and drastically enforce it yet, but they are technically under lockdown.
Yeah. The Illinois.
I don't understand why they don't have Toronto on full lockdown.
Yeah. Illinois is at 753.
Mr. T is your guys' problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Florida's up there with 659, and they're the ones that really should be locking down with all those stupid college kids. They knew spring break was coming. They should have locked down before spring break and got the word out, and none of those spring break kids would have gone down to Florida, because that's going to create a whole nother problem there. I just know it. No facts, people. I just know in my heart, all those kids down there for a week partying, doing stupid stuff. A couple of them are going to get infected, or they're already infected and went down there anyways because they spent the money on the airplane ticket, and they're getting everybody else sick. They're all going to go back to their college towns, and they're going to take it with them. And now the colleges are going to be even worse. They're going, even though a lot of the colleges are shutting down and just doing online stuff, they're going to take it back to the dorms. Stuff's going to get absolutely nuts. I just know it.
Hey, Steve, Scott from Hidden Valley Homestead gave us a rundown. What was it, 3 days ago, Gil?
Yeah.
Thursday night?
Thursday night, 2 days ago.
He gave us a rundown as exactly what the legal definitions that were said and what was actually meant. So, yeah, we know that the lockdown isn't literally a true lockdown because there are still essential services that have to be maintained, and that is not a complete lockdown. But what they were talking about is restaurants, sporting events, and stuff like that. So we do have that proper information, Steve. Don't want you to think that we were trying to do something else. Yeah,
and he was going through the different verbiage put out by the different counties down there, LA, Orange County, and Ventura County and stuff. And the one county put out almost word for word verbatim what the other one said, and they said, no, this is not what we meant. And they had to come back with not a retraction, but a clarification on what they meant by it, which was, there's a lot less as stringent as the other county was doing. But then Governor Newsom has gone anyways. And then you read his thing, and his thing has no wiggle room at all. But then the health departments, others are putting out things. Oh, this is an exception. This is an exception. This is an exception. So yeah, it's rather, some of the things that are being thrown out there aren't well written to begin with, and it's really confusing. And they're having to play catch up of all the clarifications to do it. But as far as Florida goes, I personally think they should have said, "Hey, no, beaches are closed. It's a lockdown. Beaches are closed, period.
Well, they did put something out today on Florida's beaches.
Yeah.
But it's disturbing with the fact that governor said, I'm not going to close them down. I'll leave that up to the individual counties to do so. The governor should have been very proactive and said, you know what? Close them down.
Mm-hmm.
No, and instead he wimped out and said, I'll let the counties do it. I'm too scared.
Yeah.
But Florida's nuts. Literally, my radio station in my local area has a thing that's called Florida or Bust, and they have news stories that you have to guess if it's Florida. And if it's totally insane, like somebody biting somebody's face or someone trying to do something totally insane,
Yep.
you just automatically say Florida, and you're right.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in Florida.
Mm-hmm. All right, Steve. I noticed you said you went for a walk to. Let's go back up there. Everything went all of a sudden back up to it. All right, you went to the gas station with the kids today. Got snacks, got smokes. Then went to the park for a while. What was it like at the park? Was anybody out wearing masks or anything? You know, what's going on in the area where you're at? I know you're not down in downtown LA or down in any of the bad areas. You're up in a pretty nice area up there. So I'd like to hear what's going on out there. No, you're just hanging out, okay?
If a good comment comes up, please read it. I don't have any.
I'm looking here. They're not enforcing it, but the verbiage is 6 months in prison. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them are throwing that 6 months in prison thing out there for violating the stuff.
Weren't they letting prisoners out, though?
Yeah, exactly.
In some areas of the world, yes. Iran let out.
But even here in the U.S.
I haven't heard about the U.S. yet.
Yeah, there was someone mentioning in the chat earlier that they released, I forget where it was, they released 250 low offenders.
Oh, there's 250 new cases.
Yeah.
No,
about 10 other people in the Steve said no, about 10 other people were in the park. We stayed apart, but everybody's being cool. Same at the grocery store and the farmers market. Left the M out. Farmers market.
What I found is everyone's very quiet. You can hear everyone's footsteps in a grocery store. Everyone's footsteps, and no one talks anymore. And I live. Sorry, that was a truck going by. I live close to an area that the big center is 3,000 people. Everyone's quiet. Guys that have known each other for years, it's like, that's the biggest thing that comes out. Even if you knew this guy from birth, no one says anything. Everyone's very quiet.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Steve, of course, our trainer says LA let inmates out today. Or yesterday, whenever it was. Okay. Loaves and Fishes says they released the potheads to make room for those offenders during martial law. Yeah. But yeah, it's rather Bubble says, I am so pissed that Florida did not shut down. We have 750 rich students that live in the dormitory that I work at, and most of them were on their way to Florida. Shame on Florida. Shame on their parents. Yeah.
Yeah, you can say shame on parents and shame on kids, but sometimes it's shame. Like those kids are adults.
Yeah. The Rustic Traditions Homestead, they're down there in Florida, and it said, we're mad too. We have thousands of old people here.
The new numbers state that it's not just old people, which is what
Yeah.
The CDC and the WHO said all of January, it's only affecting the older people. We don't have nothing to worry about, really.
Yeah.
Actually, here in the U.S., the new statistics put out today say it's 50% old people and 50% under people, or 50% people 50 and older, and 50% of people 49 and younger.
Does anyone else watch Full Spectrum Survival?
Sometimes.
I'm a sometimes on Brad too. He's intense. He does give some good information, but he's a little bit intense. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But he did point out this very simple fact. Hey, once all these old people are using all the resources, there's nothing left for the younger guys that get it. And that's when you're going to start getting young people with deaths from this.
Yeah.
Not to mention the people that have heart issues or other issues like a car wreck that needs ICU. Unfortunately, the ICU is filled with COVID patients, and there's no room for the car crash victims.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll do the chat here for a second. Tibor said they're not adults. 25 is the new 15. Yeah, that's the way some of them are acting. Steve, clarification. What county are your older kids in? They're up by San Francisco. I thought they were up by towards Santa Rosa up there in Sonoma County, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see here. Older. Blue Heel or cool. I'm 49 and a half. Okay. Also on what Steve said, I know that in certain areas of the Bay Area, and he may probably agree with me if you know, Richmond's not exactly being cool, but they're not riding yet in Richmond. South Oakland area down along East 14th and International Boulevard area, that area down there, getting down towards San Leandro. They're misbehaving, but they're not riding yet.
You said Sonoma.
Sonoma, yeah. Sonoma's a lot cooler than south of the main bay up there. Once you go across the Martinez Benicia Bridge, down there. I mean, Contra Costa, my wife was saying, was even getting nuts, and Contra Costa is looked at as a bedroom county.
Hey, Bubbles, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, so yeah, it all depends on the counties. Your kids, Steve, are up in a nice county up there. In fact, their county was so well behaved they did not have to issue that lockdown order that the other 7 counties did, from San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, Alameda, Contra Costa. Who am I forgetting? But there's seven counties, that issued a lockdown. Maybe it was only 6, and then some others joined in later. But some of the ones that joined in later weren't as stringent either, because their people were behaving.
Sorry to get selfish, guys, but I might have missed comments. But what would you do with guys that said what I dealt with earlier, where all of a sudden they kind of jumped ship, where they were talking about not adhering to quarantine? What do you do when it's someone who quite literally the guy that I'm dealing with, I've known him my entire life. And it's great to love someone and care for someone, but at the same time, I've got kids.
Yeah. Well, Steve, you want to talk about your neighbor kid and your son not being able to play together anymore? What and why?
You mean me?
Yeah. Sorry, I mean Dave. Yeah. Blah, blah.
Please do.
Just one moment.
I dealt with that the other day, where my son asked why his friend couldn't sleep over, and he bawled and freaked out and everything else. It's the worst thing in the world. I mean, my 4-year-old.
He wants one.
Sorry?
He was dealing with his son.
Hey, Howie. Okay, for the last couple of days, my neighbor and her son have been gallivanting the countryside. And yesterday, her little boy came over here and wanted to play with my son. I had to tell him no.
But there's a little more of the background that you gave her.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Pause for dramatic effect. No.
Dramatic effect. Hey,
I was waiting for him to walk out and shut the door. I had to tell him, I said, no, you can't play with him. Mommy's got to go clean the house. And so all of today, she spent disinfecting her house to the point where when I walked in there, it smelled like a hospital. It was completely sterilized. And I know she's got the equipment because I helped make sure she had the right stuff. I told her what to get and she got it. And this is before our stores were cleaned out. But the look on his little face when I had to tell him no was disheartening because mommy wasn't following information that she was given, which is to be physically separated and not go gallivanting around town without some sort of personal protection. She has no idea where the guy that she was hanging out with has been, other than the fact that he's been around. He works for a moving company, which they're still busy. And with 2 confirmed cases within the county we're living, one of which is actually in the city I live in, and several counties around me are confirmed. The way this spreads, it was very disturbing. I couldn't let them 2 play until she cleaned the house. And she made sure he had a bath before him and my son could play, after I made sure Charles had a bath too. And I made sure Charles scrubbed every nook and cranny, scrubbed his fingernails. Even though we've been nowhere, I made sure his hands and everything were clean. So as far as what would I do if somebody jumped ship? Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's just hard when you've
it is.
Had this guy on board with you for so many things, and that's why I sit there and think you're falling into a normalcy bias. You don't want to hear the truth.
And he's in the first stage of the truth truth steps. He's in absolute denial. Next, he's going to get rebellious in his actions. And then finally, sometime later, sadly for some people, he'll finally come to accept that it's real.
Yeah.
And all you can do is just distance yourself, but still be there. Hey, bud, you know what? You want to do that? Go ahead. I'm going to stay here. And then when they finally
my problem with distancing myself is his daughter is my daughter.
Understand?
Yeah.
That's where it gets a little like I'm not going to cry online, but I call her princess. That's my little girl. I have 2 beautiful little girls my own, but I'd take on a gator to keep her safe. And that's where you sit there and go, damn it, why don't you listen to what I tell you? I've told you how everything's going step by step, and you've listened, and all of a sudden, why do you got to be this way?
It's that truth stage thing that I had Gil post up. And it's sad because I have friends and family that I've taken the exact same response. It's like, you know what, guys, you go do what you're going to do. And if you ever come around to seeing what I've telling you is true, I'll still be here for you. But for now, I'm just, you guys go do what you're going to do. I'm going to go do what I do. I'm going to take care of my family the best I can. I pray you will do the same. But until you can understand the gravity of the situation.
The problem is when you say, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm still here for you. The problem is it comes to a point where I can't be here for you because you did not adhere to my protocols. And at this point, when we reach a lockdown, I have a great big farm, and I'm going to be able to supply. We might get tight. People are going to lose weight if it had to come to that.
Okay. Ontario. Fishes and Loaves Life posted a thing in the chat here. Just ask him what made him switch things up, and ask him why he wants to risk killing his daughter.
That's a really good point. That is a really good point. Why would you risk? I mean, everyone's got their different social stuff. he is not involved with the baby mama anymore. And I have put it in place because I don't want this little girl to not have her mother anymore. I have stuff put in place to take care of his baby's mama. But yeah, why are you being this way all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know. And I'm hoping, because tomorrow is Sunday, that I can get a hold of him and try to beat some sense into this guy.
Well,
But I'm almost in tears about the situation.
yeah. And all you can do is give him information. It's like you can bring a horse to water, but you can't force it down. You could, but you can't, just by holding him there and talking to him, make him drink. Now, I posted some. I got something up here on the big blow up screen here. This is what's bothering me here in Idaho. So in the last, I think it's been like 7 days, this has happened here in Idaho. We got 42 cases now. Just today, 3 cases up in the Panhandle, up in County County.
Oh, I can't do that. Never mind.
Anyways, where I'm at in Bingham County, we just got 2 cases here. One last night and one today tested positive. So most of these here can be blamed strictly on stupidity. Madison County, the one person in Madison County was a student that was at home, got sick, and came back sick, and was immediately put, into the university hospital, and they tested him, and it came back that they were asking him, why did you come here? You should have stayed at home. The one Ada County, which is the capital, where the capital seat Boise is at, a lady flew in from New York, not feeling well. Someone else on the plane near her contracted it from her, and then both those she was the one lady, the first lady in, was at the university campus in begins with an M.
All right, Howie. Good night.
Night, Howie. Well, anyway, she's at the university campus just east of Boise, and they had to scrub that entire campus down. But several other students have come down with it.
Right, Steve. Good night.
Blaine County, they had 3 people test within a couple of days of each other. All were out of the state, came back sick. And those are the ones they've been able to track so far, that they're reporting where they're coming from. And then one of the ones in here in Blaine was a doctor who picked it up from his patient. And they're not saying how many people got sick from that doctor.
I've got Ohio's pulled up if you want to show that.
What was that?
I have Ohio's pulled up if you want to share that.
Okay, here's Ohio's.
And as you can see below it, it lists the counties and how many is in each county.
Yeah.
That's through the Ohio Department of Health. You should be able to check each state, your state's Department of Health, by typing in Department of Health and the dragon's real name, and it should bring you up something similar to what Gil just showed and what I'm showing here.
Yeah.
Maybe you got better internet in the States. I had a bugger of a time trying to track down stuff in my local area.
Canada's a little more secret.
As far as I'm aware, I've got 11 cases an hour away and 2 cases 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I am hoping that the 2 cases that are in my county are at least 15 miles south in Blackfoot, and not 4 miles north up here in Shelley.
Sounds like you were raised with the Indians too.
And so it's if they're south of me, that's fine. We can isolate the north part of the county.
Well, see, I'm kind of surrounded by them.
Yeah.
We have Franklin County, which is 21. We have Hamilton County, which is 8. We have my county, which is Warren, there's 2. I'm surrounded by it.
Yeah.
Stay safe and stay healthy, my friends.
Yeah.
I'm staying home. Thanks.
That's what I'm doing too.
Yeah. The only time I'm probably not going to have to leave. No, I'm going to have to leave the property and go across the highway to the gas station to fill my propane tanks up for my stuff. But that's definitely social distancing. I go in, pay how much I want it, go out, have to unload the propane tanks. They fill it up. I load them back in the truck, wipe them down, of course, with my alcohol wipes. Go back over, pay, and wipe down my card and fingers when I leave the store.
Does anyone have contractors coming to their house? I have a contractor coming to my place Tuesday.
And yes, Tibor, that is correct.
What did Tibor say?
10 days from 0 to 247 here.
Yeah. And so what was it for New York? Is looking at what, 12 days, 13 days from 0 to what was
now
it?
14 days, but yeah. Yeah, and like I said, when Gil and I first started reporting on this way back when this hits, it's going to go boom quick. It wasn't.
My mother was shocked by my knowledge of this stuff. And a big part of why my knowledge is big on this is you guys.
Well,
thanks.
We're just trying to give you the right information to make proper decisions.
We
not
just
to scare anybody. We want everybody to be smart in this. I don't want to see
And I'm not scared.
in the paper. Well, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that's why we're doing this. None of us want to read each other's obituaries. None of us.
No.
A
A year from now, we all want to be able to get back on here and say, "Whew, we dodged one hell of a bullet with that one." But
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Exactly.
We all look back and laugh and say, "Hey."
I missed it. Steve left.
Yes.
But yeah, there's all right. It's just the one. This is okay, guys. I'm gonna freeze this up here really quick. I'm gonna throw it up here. Go over to this one here. All right.
Wow.
Watch. All right, this one here. This is Italy. All right, look at it was coming along and it went, and we have South Korea. So the white dots here. I'm not sure if I can make that any bigger. Let me see if I can make it any bigger. This is theater mode. There we go, a little bit bigger. So these dots right here coming across here and kind of level off here. That's South Korea.
Very vigorous testing.
What website is that?
This is Roy Lab, and I'll put the link up here into the chat right now.
I'll check it out after it's linked up.
It's called Roy Lab Stats, ROYLAB space STATS. It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Don't get fancy. I'm not that smart.
All right. So anyways, they have trying to read the colors here, right? The one here is going up kind of at a 45-degree angle. That is Iran. Yeah, that's Iran.
And those numbers.
France is this one down here. So you got South Korea, France, Iran, and this big cluster right here. That is the United States, Germany, and Spain. And look at to quote Top Gun, he's going vertical. We're going vertical.
I'm just trying to read your statement.
Yeah. So they went, they're just, Italy's way up there, going up vertical, higher and faster than we are. And it looks like United States, Germany, and Spain are the F-14s trying to catch that, MiG that's flying away and trying to catch it. We're trying to chase right after is what it looks like. Because I'm looking at the steepness of our acceleration here. It's steeper than Italy's. And that's the United States. Ours is steeper than the others. Because here's ours. We were at the bottom here for a while. And ours just suddenly went vertical.
the one beautiful thing Canada does have over you go Americans is we're not as tightly knit as you guys. I know most of our population is in a tight group, but a lot of our population is kind of spread out.
Mhm.
So we are going to do better in a lot of ways.
Yeah. See,
But
where
it's
we're
scary
hurting,
here.
where we're hurting here, zoom this in one more time, bringing it up over here, is this little pothole right here. New York, 11,000. That's where our big climb is because of New York. That's, almost half of the cases are New York.
Wait,
And New York is so tightly packed of people. You sneeze and you sneeze on 20 people.
yeah.
You get on a subway, you're brushing up against 30 people during your ride to work. I mean, the R naught value in New York is insane because of the environment of New York.
I will be honest, I'm 39 years old, and the first time I ever rode on a train was last year for my eye surgery. So I never rode on a train before. I live out in a rural area.
Yeah.
I can't throw I can barely shoot a bullet far enough to hit my neighbors.
Yeah. In the California numbers, most of them up in Santa Clara, San Francisco, San Bruno counties, all on the peninsula there, where it is just like New York. It's a lot of areas there are packed tight. San Francisco's not quite as bad as New York, but it's you go riding on the Muni, the trolleys, the AC transit buses. You're packed in those buses, those trolleys, and the BART train and everything. BART is the one that's spreading it around the Bay Area Rapid Transit System, because it goes down to San Jose, it goes across out to Pittsburgh and Fremont. Yeah, it's got lines going everywhere, and it's just ugly. It's a petri dish on train tracks. Because if you're riding from the one area and you're going to the down to the San Francisco airport or whatever, you've gone through hundreds and hundreds of people getting on and off your train on your trip, all the different stops. And so that's that's where it's bad in California. Steve's is luckier down there in LA, in the good section of LA where he's at, and same thing with Scott of Hidden Valley Homestead. Downtown LA is going to get it bad once it starts really grabbing down there. It's already most of the cases in California are up in Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Where most of our cases are in Toronto, bigger cities for Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my brother from another mother, Hoople's cat there.
Mm-hmm.
He does really know his stuff, and he's getting to where he's kind of freaked out. And I'm sitting there going, if he's getting a little worried, I should probably batten down the hatches.
That's what I've been saying for the last 2 months. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Be ready. And when it hits, lock them down. I locked my son and myself down a day before they canceled school, knowing that they were fixing to cancel the school without it even being mentioned to the public, just by looking at the numbers and listening to the person we call governor.
Yeah, my daughter pulled her kids out 3 days before they closed the schools down here. All right.
Well, I sit there and I keep saying God keeps putting me where I need to be. Mm-hmm. Long-term job I had, and I got shifted to a different job. And he goes, "What do you think about this?" I said, "Well, whatever your views on religion is, God keeps putting me where I need to be." And my wife, unfortunately, has been dealing with a horrible, horrible concussion. Mm. And beautifully enough, she's been home to integrate my kids into this kind of life. She's been there for them. It's made it easier in a lot of ways. And I go, This is not the best way to go into it, but maybe that is how it has to be. It sucks that my wife couldn't work, but at the same time, my wife's a substitute teacher. Maybe this is the best for everybody.
God doesn't always tell us why we're where we're at. And I look back at one instance. Many years ago, I was working as a maintenance supervisor at an apartment complex. And the parent company, Sterling Management, opened up a brand new position for a maintenance director. And I applied for it. Plenty qualified. Matter of fact, I'm actually overqualified for the position. But it would have meant traveling constantly. Well, I had a good car. I had everything I needed. I applied, and I didn't get the job. I'm going, what the heck? Why not? And when I found out the person I hired is way less qualified than me. He wasn't even qualified to hold the position I held as it was. So I'm back in my head going, Lord, why? Why didn't I get that job? I'm qualified. I could do it. 6 months after they created that position, they canned the position. They fired the guy with no termination benefits. If I'd have gotten that job, I would have lost my car, my home. I would have lost everything. So there are sometimes things that happen that we don't understand why it's happening that way. But in the long term, we go further down the road, we can look back and say, now I understand why this happened the way it did. Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it is.
Well, I will say I'm cold and I'm super jealous of your beard, SOP. I hope something changes.
Is that better?
I'm freezing my butt off here.
All right. Now, I have, I can get this other thing to work here. All right, let me go ahead and close this one down. I'm going to throw the link up one more time to the one news site that has all the facts and data and documents of that China was basically over 80% of China's cases were undocumented. So that's the one link I just threw up there. Close that one out.
Definitely bad.
And go ahead and drop out that one. Try to get this thing here to work. All right.
China is definitely lying with their issues that they got going on right now. They're definitely lying. They went from we have these cases to kick out all Western reporters, and all of a sudden we have no cases. It just seems like a funny line for me.
And all their homegrown vloggers, ones that posted here to YouTube that they allowed, that started to go public with what was going on, seemingly disappeared. There's nothing
disappeared. Hey, the other day, the other guy got vindicated.
Yeah, the doctor did.
6 weeks after he died.
Yep.
It happens. God bless him for doing what he tried to do.
Yep. Yeah. See, he noticed the first case on our November 30th. The back tracing to find patient 0, where this actually originated. They still haven't found patient 0 yet. But the second person in line was November 15th.
Now, I will say patient 0, if this is with all conspiracy theories pointed out, all that stuff, doesn't matter. It's out. We have to deal with it. Does not matter. Nope. Fix it later. Let's keep everybody healthy, keep everyone happy, and we're going to get our economy rolling again. And once that happens, then we can go after this. You got so many YouTubers going after, the conspiracy, this, that, the other thing. Doesn't matter. Let's keep everyone healthy and happy. Let's survive. Then deal with this next step. Too many people are trying to jump several steps. That's just me. But to me, it doesn't matter that there was a patient 0, that it was, I think there's a thing that it came out of Canada at one point.
Yeah.
All sorts of it doesn't matter where it come from. fix it, then move on.
Yeah, we can worry about where it came from and who started it and all that other crap when everybody's done dealing with it. Right now, the most important thing is to make sure the populace is safe, that they don't overcrowd our current medical system to the point where it crashes under the weight. Because that's what's happened.
Well,
Italy lost its battle because it can't keep up with it. The medical staff can't keep, the hospital staff or hospitals can't keep up with the demand. That's why Italy is suddenly skyrocketing. 400 deaths in one day. That was yesterday. Today was almost as bad.
700 today, I thought.
Was it?
And that's the other thing. It's not we're fixing this. It's not we're quarantining this. We're just trying to limit what's affecting the healthcare system.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
all we can do right now.
Hey, Bubbles, my live tonight or tomorrow night, well, it'll be tonight here shortly, at least for me. I'm Southern Ohio prepping. I will have a live stream, and we're going to start it off with prayer. And I'm going to try and do a faith-based way to kind of understand and deal with some of the stuff from a faith-based perspective. So if you would like, join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, I'd be in for that.
I'm not a preacher. I'm more of a teacher, but be careful. If I get on my pulpit soapbox, I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'll tell you, if I think you're wrong, I'll smack you down.
Oh, I won't be wrong, but I might get very verbal about it.
Yeah. All right. I posted it, just put up here the map for California cases by county. I must make a correction. It jumped since the last time I checked LA out. LA passed Santa Clara County. Santa Clara County is the one up here in blue up here at 263. LA's at 292. LA just shot past them. San Diego is also increasing, which is strange. San Diego's down there. It was supposed to be nice and warm. Come on.
Nice and warm just means nice and warm. It doesn't mean that they can't transfer.
Yeah. But looking up above here in the San Francisco Bay Area, San Francisco, make sure I'm looking at San Francisco County, 84 cases. San Mateo County, 110. Monterey County, not Monterey. It's where Santa Cruz County. 15. Santa Clara County, 263. Alameda County, 70. Contra Costa County, 51. Yeah, and they dimed out Contra Costa County is reporting 10 less on their official site today. And so because they're not counting anybody that has either died or has no longer has it, they're taking them off their numbers. San Joaquin County, 29. Sacramento County, 53. Marin County, Marin County here, come on, catch up to me here, is 38. And then above Marin County is, can't remember the county, but they have 21. So yeah.
My big question is, how are preppers the crazy ones?
We're not preppers.
Because it still happens right now.
Yeah.
If I said something, sorry.
We've changed the designation. We're not preppers. We are apes. What's something? Say it again.
We are advanced preparedness for emergency people. We are apes.
You know what? It hasn't reached Canada yet. Sorry. I'm sure the 1980s will hit us in the 90s and so on. But how does so many people look at us? I'm not like my sister said something to me the other day. I'm like, she said something about being sane. And I went, I've always said I'm the same person. I've always set up for this. I mean, my oldest niece, who I'm supposed to be the master of ceremonies for her wedding this November, listen, that's not going to happen because this is A, B, C, D, E. I can do the alphabet. Apparently, so many people can't do the alphabet. This is what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And I don't think I'm a foresight or be able to see into the future. How are other people not able to see, well, Trudeau said this is going to happen, so we're going to cut this much of the border, this much of the border. It's step by step, guys. Why am I the only person sitting there going, next?
You're not a sheep.
Yeah, you're not.
Well, yeah, I know I'm not a sheep. I raised those pigs.
They don't see it because they're sheep. They're not awake. They live in a very clouded world. They're stuck to their phone or iPad, whatever they figure the Johnsons have to have. They've got to have. It's all about me, 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 me. They don't care about anybody else. So when something happens that should wake them up, they missed it. It goes right over top of their head.
Well, you guys have connections. Please put out a video about wake up the damn sheep.
We've tried. It got demonetized, pulled off.
It is brutal.
It's one of the reasons I lost my very first channel, Wolf's Den No BS Reviews. I put out a semi-political piece trying to wake people up. I called people by name, called them out, tried informing people what was actually going on, and YouTube sent me a letter stating I was inciting a riot.
Oh, you like Trump?
And killed my channel. I lost all my videos, lost all my subscribers. I had to start running one. And guess what? You can't keep me down. I'm going to come back. I'll just reword everything differently. Say the same thing, just in a different focus.
It's a horrible experience to go through where you're sitting there going, I know the answer. Listen to the answer.
And nobody listens.
And I think a lot of us on this channel talking, and I haven't been able to view the chat, but I'm quite sure Tibor, Steve, all those guys are sitting there going, yes, yes, yes. But we see things that other people don't see. And it's not that we're special. It's not that God has gifted us with this. It's not that hard to look at, guys.
Well, actually, I do believe, as the Bible says, and he says it in Daniel, seal up this book unto the end of time. Just before the end of days, it'll be, made understandable is what it means. And we're beginning to understand more and more, especially in the book of Daniel, Ezekiel, Zephaniah, and the book of Revelations. The more we understand of that, the more we become awake, the more it is easier for us to see these things that wake us up and put us in this preparedness mindset.
SOP, I will say, yes, I understand what you're saying, but I'm biased in the simple fact that I've got young kids and I don't want to be in the end of times. So I would prefer to not say it just because I've got a 4-year-old. I think you may be right, but at the same time, biased. I don't want to believe it. I'm gonna do what everyone else is doing with the coronavirus. Blah 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 blah. Everything's good. But yeah, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, that's one place I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to think it's just because, I'm smarter than they are. But in all honesty, it's probably God saying, hey, wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have an IQ of 180 plus. Okay. I don't show.
I never got that done yet.
The tests aren't as accurate as they used to be.
Right.
40 years ago, when you got your IQ tested, it meant something. Now the test is so doggone blasé. A 5-year-old can take it and score 190 IQ. Don't make no sense. Because I actually had Charles take an IQ test, and he passed it with 187.
All right, guys.
Kid.
Is he Canadian?
No, I got some here to share with you guys. So I got up here on the screen here that Dr. Professor Michael T. Osterholm.
Yeah, Osterholm.
Here's the book he was mentioning, where in the book Deadliest Enemy or War Against Killer Germs, he laid out a scenario where a virus would come over from China and how it would go through and how it would do, and it's basically doing exactly what he said in this book. He has, and it's I bought the no, I didn't get the Kindle version yet. I bought the Green Wizards first. This is on my next one to get for $14. He also has another one called Living Terrorists: What America Needs to Know About Surviving the Coming Bioterrorist Catastrophe. And that's the next one down here, and it's only $6 on Kindle as well. I don't get anything from it. I just think these are very good books. If you go to their page, you can actually take a look inside and read a little bit inside for free. This guy here, like we said earlier, this is the guy governments go to when they have questions.
Hey, Bubbles, your dad and my dad would have got along great, because my dad's most famous comment that I'll never, ever forget: all college does is make them educated idiots. And that's a guy that went to Harvard.
My dad made grade 10.
Yeah. What university did you go to again, Dave?
My dad went to
Hard Knocks.
Hang on.
He went to Harvard, Yale. He went to the Juilliard School of Music. He worked for a subsidiary of Dow Chemical called Oxymetal Industries. He's the one that helped perfect the paint that goes on offshore oil platforms. The man was a genius. He scored an IQ of 210.
Back in the day when it mattered.
When he looked at a molecule on a piece of paper, he already had 40 different ways to change it. He was that smart. He's the one I learned how to do math from. My senior year of college or high school, I was studying third year college algebra and acing it. So, I mean, that's my pedigree. But
thank you, Kathy, for putting those links in there.
My dad is the one that made the comment: all college does is make people educated idiots. And Berkeley's, I mean, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
It's not, Dave,
I'm sorry.
Dave, no. It's not you. The only thing you said wrong, you said Berkeley instead of Berserkly.
I'm sorry.
It's Berserkly, the University of Altered Mind State.
Now, as a question to everybody in, I mean, I'm really appreciative that you guys got me in the live chat, and I'm not available to see the comments. I'm sure there's several comments that have said Canadian out, but could we make a little pack here, guys, that if anyone does get sick, don't stop posting. Tell everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we need to not be social distant, physical distant. You know, the catchphrase from the government is, you need to be socially distant. I don't think that's correct. You know what? I think I'm going to send Trump a letter tonight and tell him that he needs to change that to make it physically distant, not social distant. Because if you get too many people locked up in their house, socially distant, what's going to happen to their mental state? We're going to have a whole
My mom's 72 years old.
They're going to have a whole bunch
I'm
of
dealing with her
around.
So I'll tell you guys if I'm sick. You guys tell me if you're sick.
Oh, I guarantee you, if anyone here comes down with it, well, if I come down with it and the rest of the family doesn't, I got to move out into the trailer, the camp trailer. But I do have a Cat 5 cable running out there. So so I will be broadcasting no matter what.
Same here.
I can't do those lives. I'm on the cell phone. I would probably lean on you too. I mean, I really appreciate the exposure you guys have given me. So if I do come down, I'm going to lean on you guys to say, hey, I have information. I'm feeling crappy and I need you to put it out, because at least there's 2 other channels that would put it out. And I'm quite sure you guys would put it out, because I'm quite sure you guys would be honest with everyone. You don't have enough subscribers that you don't need to worry about political stuff.
Well, I have a feeling Lori will put it out as well, and so will
everybody in this chat. If they get sick, we'll put it up on YouTube saying, hey, this is what I've got, this is what I'm feeling, and it'll go every couple of days, even if it's just a short 2 or 3 minute video, because if you get it, you're going to be short-winded. So talking for more than 2 minutes is going to be really difficult.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm sure anybody on here that gets it will put up some kind of video saying, look, here's my day today. Here's what I did the last couple of days or whatever. You know, they'll put something out every other day or so people can stay up to date, informed with honest information.
Yeah, and I hope to God they do that. I mean, it's kind of funny that I'm not monetized, so I can say whatever I want. I won't because I'm on your guys' stream, but the virus. How is it possible that I'm trying to put out information about stuff, and if I say the C word, you guys are demonetized or I'm demonetized? How is that smart? That
Here's what's going on in that. You have to look at the ownership of YouTube. It's owned by Google, which is owned and controlled by a bunch of left wing nuts,
Tidy whitey snowflakes,
and they are strong in their demon rat philosophy to and so much so is that, you know, they're blocking channels that are trying to support the president, and they deemed this subject to be a sensitive subject, and therefore anyone putting anything out on it, you know, they're going to demonetize those videos. And although they are making certain exceptions to ones that are fighting with their attorneys because they're putting out fact, and so they are allowing certain ones to it, but they're tagging on a lot of the video the monetized channels. They are inserting, I've noticed, the commercials are all CDC.
So, question.
Which is basically a bunch of BS coming out of the CDC mixed with a little bit of truth.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I mean, I'm Canadian, which is probably why you two bring me in every once in a while, where you're like, hey, a Canadian, your president, kind of a dick. Try to argue, kind of a dick. But I will say I'm pretty Trump supporter over here.
Yeah.
Thank God you've got someone strong, because look what I got up here. Trudeau that would fold under a wet paper towel.
Mr. T, and not the black.
Mr. T is not. Mr. T is not Mr. T.
Mr. Little T. Yeah. Well, I
thank God you guys support your.
People that say that Trump is a bit of a dick. Well, yeah, he is. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. Right. He's in. You know, he made money and stuff. He became president. He is donating all his money to charity. All his pay. He's not collected 1 cent from the American people. And
I wish I could say that the same with Trudeau.
That just infuriates the snowflakes.
Oh, snowflakes. Did you hear Marvel brought out a whole bunch of new superheroes? Snowflake, Safe Space, all these things. This is where we get to a level of ridiculousness. Mm-hmm. PETA is trying to take out your guys' Marines, where they're not allowed to do all their survival training because they kill animals. Shut up. They kill animals so they can learn how to deal with people in battlefield situations. They need to know how to deal with animals. They can kill animals to feed themselves. Personally, I sit there and go, I love Canada, and I am so ready to vote American. And it's a horrible thing for me to say. I just put up my Ontario flag today. And good Lord, I need to be American.
Well, there's plenty of land down here in Idaho.
Hey, Bubbles, if you remind me.
I'm right there for you. I'm third generation. That's why I don't move.
My little brother has a different dad than I do, and his father was born up in Quebec.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. But so I do have ties to Canada. Richard wasn't a bad guy, really. He just slightly confused about certain things.
Yeah.
I worked with a lot of Quebec strippers.
Well, folks, we're getting to the 2-hour mark here. Any questions out there about what we've talked about? Numbers, resources, links. Kathy North Star Prep Center says, I'm in Minnesota. You can walk across the border here.
Mm-hmm.
She welcome you across the border, Ontario.
Stay out. You're going to get screwed over worse than you think you're going to get.
She's inviting you across the border to walk across.
If I wasn't third generation, I would.
Hey, my dad was born in California. I was born in California. My grandfather was one of the big settlers of Southern California. He had the first, I think it was something like 60 mules pulling this big old huge monstrous contraption of a harvester, had 20 people on it to operate it. And, he has streets named after him down there in Riverside County. But, hey, the demon rats have totally turned it into a socialist state. And so, we're getting out. That's why I moved here to Idaho.
My only and last question, and I'm going to have to ask you too, because I don't have the comments coming up as quick, is, like I said before, when you have someone you think you can trust, dealing with, I'm taking care of your family, you're taking care of my family, with all this stuff with the red dragon coming in, and all of a sudden they go, don't worry about it. How do you feel? I'm probably pretty mad for everything that I've dealt with. Sorry to cut you off, SOP. But my wife, she literally said, you need to talk to your YouTube people because I can't deal with you. You're pissed off. And I'm like, yeah, I'll find people that'll listen to my complaining. So which is YouTube? But I was pretty mad for the simple fact that, like I said, for the point I put before, when you have someone running a canoe with you for so far, and then all of a sudden they grab your paddle and go, no, we don't need that anymore, and throw it in the lake. And you go, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Pay attention. Stuff's happening. Don't use normal. Like I have a whole lot of normalcy bias going on in my area, and it's horrible. And I don't know what to do. I'm pretty calm with a lot of stuff, but thank God I've got people like you to talk to. And in the comments, I'm going to replay this after it's done, but I'm kind of a little freaked out.
Well, all I can say is, just all you can do is just maintain your faith, your position, and realize that you can't change a person's mind, yourself. It's going to take something. Usually, it takes something else. It takes another outside influence, usually that of God, to really make a person change that much. Unfortunately, Satan has this little tool out there called the personal device that you can do everything on and do everything. He's totally corrupted that so much for so many people. And you got these people that are just out there just putting out this stuff that, gets people hooked on. It's what they want to hear. It's almost like a drug. And they now are so intense on getting what their daily fix of it that whatever they put out there, they believe of those they follow. And anybody says anything contrary to what those they follow, oh, they're wrong. We're not going to listen to them. Not going to listen to them. And it's a very childish attitude they take. And it's just like, hey, pay attention. Open up your eyes. But they've turned into sheeple.
Gil, I honestly totally agree with a lot of what you just said. And son of a gun, wouldn't it be so much easier if you could just bring the Lord's statement with a hammer or bring truth with a hammer, whatever your views are? Just listen. Wouldn't it be beautiful? Just smack them in the head once and they listen, or all of a sudden they understand. But
he's correct.
What my biggest problem is he has a daughter who I care about just like my own. We're also dealing with a little bit of a different situation because I'm dealing with the Indian. I'm not PC in this crap. Indian. His daughter's an Indian. She's an Indian. He can hunt whenever he wants, blah, blah, blah. But his daughter, I count as my daughter. And it's really hard to just go, hey, Cheyenne, come here. Which is why it's really hard for me, because I sit there and go, okay, this is not something we can see. This is not something we can feel. Daddy's being a moron. Come hang out with Uncle Billy.
Yeah.
Kathy, if you didn't hear me, could you please post?
And it's breaking me down. Like this would be the point where I would cry. It is breaking me down because I love that little girl.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Kathy, can you throw up Dave's channel? Bubbles Butterfly would like to be, follow him.
And thank you.
I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. All I can say before you do is pray for his awakening.
Read, buddy.
Thank you.
That's the best thing you can do is read. And that's, I have a hard time when I try reading this sometimes because the numbers get in the way.
Hey, Jake.
I can't read the numbers most of the time. When I'm trying to read it, my brain skips the numbers. So when I try to go back and do some research, I can't find where I read, and I get frustrated and I have to put it down and walk away because frustration is not of the Lord. And I have
Truth's a horrible thing to listen to.
And sometimes I have to step back and then try again later. Or I have to do it online where I can arrange the font in such a way that the numbers aren't right next to the words. So I can try and remember it. But all I can do is say read.
Sorry. I didn't mean to cry up, guys.
Hey, Dave. Kathy's saying go check Discord.
Sorry.
I'm looking at Discord and nothing's happening. But I'm here.
I'll thank you guys for having for inviting me to the show. I'm sorry to cry, but
okay, man.
Have a good night, guys.
Hey, we're all human. We all have emotions. None of it, if we need to cry, so be it. Don't try to be also macho. It's no big deal. It is a big deal because we have emotions and there are times when we cry. It happens. Anybody that says they don't cry is lying through their eye teeth. Okay?
Thank you.
Don't worry about it, man. We're all human.
Everyone needs to cry every once in a while. That's what my wife keeps telling me.
Yep.
I don't believe her, but she keeps saying it.
It's true.
Actually,
it's true.
Catching up on the chat here. So Kathy meant to say Heaven's Essentials, check out Discord.
That's not
right,
fair.
so,
now I want in on the conversation. You ladies cannot keep me out of it now.
Okay, so Bubbles, if you look down here, I just put in Dave's channel, the link to it.
You guys need to send me a link for Bubbles. I keep hearing Bubbles, and I don't think I have Bubbles on my subscribe channel. I need to subscribe to Bubbles.
Let me see if I can pull up Bubbles here on the other side here.
Open on this computer.
Have essential. Come on, it's not working. All right.
Listen, randomly pin it on your videos. I watch most of your guys' videos anyway, so.
Yeah. Okay. Just see if anybody beats me to it. I'm trying to get it here. My computer's going very slow. Jeez. Come on, it's locking up on me. Can anybody get it in there? It's a it's not working. It's locking up. Oh, okay. Someone else got it. All right, thanks. 2 people got it. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, again, guys, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
All righty.
You're good. You're doing good, and you need to shave. I know you shaved to fit masks, but let's be honest. Shave where you can. Let's try to be safe.
I don't have to.
Thanks for having us.
I ain't shaving the armpits. No.
Dave,
I had a little moment and you screwed it up. Thank you.
Dave,
I had to get him laughing. He needed a good way to laugh.
no, Dave, you just put my mind, Dave. Dave, what you just put in my mind was from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, where Larry, the cable guy, was up talking, and he goes, "I ain't no way I'm trimming up down there."
Oh, hey, Bubbles, I make stuff too, so don't let nobody talk you out of your crafts. Okay.
Stay safe and stay healthy, guys.
You too.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, tomorrow at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, Dave.
Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. Dave's going to have a special faith-based look at things. Monday night is going to be just in time prepping at 7:30 Mountain Time, which is 9:30 Eastern. Going to be talking about. He said he's going to be wanting to talk something to do with social distancing and maintaining space and safety during the event. Tuesday. Oh, what do I have for Tactical Tuesday here? Let me bring it back up here. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Going to be going over water filters, portable and non-portable water filters, weight versus cost. Thursday is going to be Thursday morning is Wednesday is going to be Dave's at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Eastern time for Dave Wednesday night. No topic yet.
It's 9 Eastern, 7 o'clock Mountain.
Sorry, 9 Eastern, 7 o'clock Mountain. Sorry.
That's okay. I figured I better clarify it before they all jumped in here. Where are you at?
Yeah. And then Thursday morning is What's on Your Mind at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Friday night is How Do You Relax Your Mental Health? We're going to be talking about how you maintain your mental health and de-stress during shelter in place.
I can tell you what my son's doing. If he's not coloring pictures, and he colored another one for me, he plays Pokemon.
Yeah. And then next Saturday is going to be the keto diet. How it can help you live a better life. And Sherry Kay is going to be up here talking about it. So we're going to be listening and learning from Sherry Kay on next Saturday. So that's what's coming up. And we will I'll go ahead and drop this
and
down.
Again, thank you so much, Kathy, for all the linking.
Yes, thank you, Kathy. Once again, she put up the Roy Lab stats.
She put up a lot of stuff while you were talking.
Yes.
Like 8 different links.
8 different links. Let's go see. Yeah. She also put the Southern Idaho meet and greet. Yep. The Asset Center, where you can go and find, there's a lot of free downloads information that I took off of the FEMA site before they closed a lot of those down. So those are good ones there.
Heaven's
And you can
Wilderness.
also find my novels on there as well. So, alrighty.
They're not monetized on that video live. It's not monetized. They're not making anything.
Yeah. Alrighty. So with this, we're going to go ahead and say everybody have a good evening,
Hasta luego.
and we'll see you tomorrow night.